Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Adams Rite number 5017-00-630 standard latching deadlock for sliding wood doors in a stainless steel finish. That's what the 5017 looks like. When they say stainless steel finish, it certainly deserves more of an explanation. The cover is certainly stainless. I can tell by the hue of the metal that's there. That's what stainless looks like when it's not been finished, brushed or polished. That faceplate is definitely a brushed polish finish. There might be a spring inside of here that's magnetic because it draws my magnet a little bit, even though stainless does pick up some properties of magnetism when it is machined or worked, but this is primarily stainless steel. That's the bolt. Those laminated bolts are even, well, they're non-ferrous. It doesn't look like it's stainless, but I believe that it is stainless steel. Let's go through the extended description, and we'll go through this logically. For wood framed sliding doors, the 5017 wood door deadlock latch provides the same 1,000-pound strength at the MS 1847 maximum security. That's a trademark of Adams Rite. A much heavier, larger 1847 is a deadlock intended for metal doors. Deeper backset clears the recessed jamb when used with wood doors. A wood door application is going to require some special considerations. Having a deeper backset from the edge of the door to the center of that hub is what they're referring to. It's deeper than a standard lock body. The bolt throw is easily adjusted by means of a screw in the faceplate. Let's take a look at that. So let's do this. As I turn it clockwise, you can see, well, you may be able to tell it's drawing the bolt out a bit further to that point, and that's where it's at its maximum. The edge of the lock body to the inside mouth of the unit looks like it's about 5/16. Let's take our screwdriver and draw that in. Let's turn it counterclockwise to draw it in. Okay, we've got that drawn all the way in. 5/16 down to probably about 3/16 would be my guess. Yeah, I'd say right about 3/16. So it's going to have an 1/8 of an inch margin that's going to occur on the bolt. That's really nice because it will allow you to draw the unit in nice and tight into the installation, providing no slop in the door. You don't want to have any slop. It's going to give someone a handhold, so to speak. It's also going to leak air conditioning or heat, whatever you're doing. Probably air conditioning would be my guess. Mounting is by through bolts, which also secure the inside turn and outside cylinder when installed. There's no screws. There are no holes for screws. There's no way to fasten this to the edge of the door. What holds this to the edge of the door is when you run the through bolt of your key cylinder or your thumb turn through the lock body itself. And that's what does it on this. Okay, so the next line says 45-degree rotation of turn or key throws or retracts the bolt. Bolt is self-protect. Let's stop there. Right now, when it's projected, your hub is, for all intents and purposes, vertical. Okay, depending on the side of the door, you're going to turn it either clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay. The point of the matter is you need to be mindful that you really don't need to be. You're turning it away from the lock body. In more petite installations, you have to be careful which way the thumb turn rotates so that you don't hit the jamb. But they give you that deeper dimension because in a wood application, that backset's about 1.25 inches. You might have some trim on your door, meaning you could have a sliding door and your jamb profile may look like that. So you got to be mindful of where your trim falls into play with that sort of installation. And that's why they're giving you the bigger dimension, where normally it would be an inch. So you will rotate it 45 degree. They then go on to say that it's self-protecting. What that means is when the bolt is extended, if you were to close the door, okay, it will snap back into place. That's self-protecting. And what they're saying with that is that it's going to prevent damage to the strike, to the door, to the lock, and it's going to prevent you from getting locked out. Now, they do have a self-latching model, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. Finish 630. That means it means two things. It means three things, actually. It's made of stainless steel. It's a brushed finish. And it also means that it's the most durable finish of all finishes available when it comes to architectural hardware. The back set, they do say, is 1 3/16. The width of the faceplate, 5/8. The overall height of the faceplate is about 4.5 inch. And then it has radiused ends on it. So prepping for this is going to be pretty simple, that's for sure. 5/8 radius bit, 5/8 radius bit. If it was me, I wouldn't radius the entire 4.5. The thickness of the faceplate is 0.059, so basically a 1/16. If it was me, if I was going to mortise this, I would make the overall length of my body prep, 4 1/16 wide, the entire depth of the body, but then, 1 9/16, let's say, but then I would just do just the 60 thousandths for the ear so that it could actually sit on the door without falling into a cavity. I would want it to rest, and that's how I would end up doing that. Standard latching with stainless steel hook bolt. They do call it stainless. Case packaged. They say with machine screws for mounting. That does not go with this model at all. There are no screws for this. There are some links to the options down below, such as the 5015 zinc-plated case, a 1015 turn, a 4026 cylinder pole, a 1016 outside trim plate, and then the strike as well, the 4810 box strike. If you are doing a new installation and it is a wood door and a wood frame, definitely order that box strike as well. If you have an aluminum jamb, you probably aren't going to need a strike because there'll be a slot cut in the prep in the jamb of the frame. But you'll have to inspect that and order it or not. There's a link below this video to a document called Datasheet. It's a summary of everything that we've talked about, except that it then shows you your 1016 and your 1015 trim. You have a thumb turn on the inside only if you wanted. You could also do that with a 4026 key on the outside, then add that 1015 plate on the inside. That would give you key control outside, the ability to throw it to lock the unit. Page 2 gives you all of the dimensional properties, and on the right-hand side does show a bit more clearly what they're looking at in terms of preparation. They're showing that prep going the entire... Actually, they're not. They're showing the prep for the body only, and that the faceplate is to be surface mounted. I wouldn't do that, even though you could, but I wouldn't. I would mortise that so that the plates sit nice on the edge of the door. Shows you the back set of how your thumb turn or your key cylinder is going to come into play, and that's when you tighten the exterior and the interior together, because it's through bolted, it then again locks the door together. The bottom of that page 2 will show you the 5017-00 for standard latch or the self-latching. That's the one where you could slide the door closed and it will be latched, period. It will be in the locked position. So if you don't want to, if you can't suffer the possibility of someone sliding the door on you and being locked out, order the standard one. But you might very likely want self-latching because you might have a boat application and you've got, a thumb turn trim on the proper side, or you've got a cylinder and this key always stays in the cylinder, but you always want that door to be latched regardless. You'll be able to come and go. That might be what you want. You don't want a door not latched. That could be appropriate. There's also a link to a how to order table. It's identical to the table that we just saw. They do refer to the 4026 cylinder. Okay, it's easy stuff. If you've got a wood door in a frame, this would be the one to order. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Adams Rite products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Adams Rite 5017-00 self-protecting sliding wood door lock, body, or any other Adams Rite product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.